Good evening. Welcome into another edition of the replay where we try to make your day. I'm your host, Rashad, and yes, we are live. We're back on this Thursday evening. And you know, I got my guys with me. I got none other than Daryl Alexander the Great, along with my guy, Tim Action Jackson. What is it? What is it, my brothers? How you do this evening?
What's good? What's good, Pete?
Well, as you know, as usual, blessed and grateful. So no matter what the circumstances going outside, we blessed.
We blessed, man, all the way, all the way. Well, for those of you all coming on, man, when you start coming on, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button. Also, make sure you hit the notification button. We're still trying to grow this wonderful channel where we're bringing y'all information, man, on the sports world, as well as some of the cultural things that is happening around us. So we got a great show this evening, this Thursday evening. We are live once again, and we just gonna start, right with the current things that are happening, what's going on. And right off the bat, man, I want to talk about something that's actually has made headlines, man, the last couple of days. And we're talking about none other than the opportunity to probably hire Bill Belichick as the next Dallas Cowboys head coach. Now, it hadn't happened, guys. Okay, don't get me wrong, it haven't happened. But at the same time, we're hopeful, DA. We're hopeful. Who knows? Who knows? So, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come to TJ first, man, and get his bill of approval. His bill of approval. What you think, though, TJ? What you think, man? I mean, is this a conspiracy going on? Some backdoor moves being made? Bill Belichick uniting with Shedeur Sanders next year. What you think?
See, you just hit it right on the target, right? That's all part of it. Hey, go in, let this be his last year, set it all up. If he can be successful, he can get injured, whatever. Or you make that trade, like I said, make the trade, and then boom, you set it all up. Say, give Trey that chance. Trey can't take advantage of it. Bam, we got Shedeur and we got Belichick in, because everything will be gone. Everybody's off the table at that time because contracts are up, and the bills got to be paid, right? Hey, it's due. Everything is due. It's due. If you can't pay up by the end of this season, you went bankrupt. You out, gone. You gone, bankrupt, gone. So that's what Jerry Jones said. Hey, you know what? I'm putting everything on the table on you. You said you can do this. You said you were this. You said you came here to win championship, head coach. You said you can actually, you a championship, you a winner, you a leader, Dak Prescott. Hey, your opportunity to show who you are. Can't show who you are. We're gonna move on. Belichick, come on in. Prime Deion Sanders' son, Shedeur. Hey, up front and ready to go.
Hey, I'm gonna come on with DA because he got this look on his face. I know this look, man. I know this look. Come on, DA. Come on, DA. I'm waiting on you, man. Come on, jump on this thing, man. What you think? Could it happen? Could it happen?
I need to know what's in Tim's glass. That's first.
What's in his glass?
It ain't no way he made that statement sober. Ain't no way that ain't vodka. That's got to be vodka in that glass. Why, y'all tell me, why would y'all want Bill Belichick of all coaches? Why would you want him?
Well, I mean, if you're asking me,
he's sitting his.
Go ahead, Gabriel. I'll hit it later.
Well, go ahead and let DA finish.
He's grumpy. He doesn't connect with players anymore. He has to have too much control. He might say he doesn't have to have control just to get a job, but we all know Bill Belichick, man. I hadn't really taken to him since that New England Super Bowl where they lost to Philly. The way he did the cornerback, man, I can't forget.
You talking about I know exactly.
I was just talking about it earlier.
When he benched him.
Yeah, he benched his starter for something very minute. Now we're talking about Super Bowl.
Oh, I know you're talking about. I remember that.
The MVP for when they played Seattle. I can't believe I forgot his name that quick.
Yeah, the one that got the
we were just talking about him the other day, man. I
was talking about him 2 days.
He was MVP, got the interception off Seattle. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
Anyway, there were like stories coming out. out of New England saying that he had really that Patriot way had gone too far. Like it was a good thing one time, and then all of a sudden he just I don't know if I can't say that he got big-headed or egotistical along the way, but he just became so grumpy and stubborn. I used to watch him in the post-game interviews, and it's like he was just above everybody, and he just lost the connection. So I don't think that's a good pick for y'all. But as far as 49ers go, we would love for y'all to get Belichick because we know he's not going to connect with these new age players, and it would just keep y'all out of our way, you know, just for a different reason. But it would keep y'all out of our way. Ain't no way in the world I'd take Belichick.
So you don't. So let me ask you this though, because I think he recently turned 72 years of age.
Right.
And having that year off kind of get yourself rejuvenated, because you're gonna always be a football guy. He's always gonna be engaged. But I'm just simply saying, if the Cowboys were to reduce another season the way they had this past year, and he's sitting on the sideline.
So you're gonna get rid of your other. You're gonna get rid of your other. What's your defensive coordinator name?
Zimmer.
You gonna get rid of Zimmer?
Yeah, for what? What we need him for? We got another defensive mind if you get Bill Belichick. What we need Zimmer for? Okay. In the words of the great Janet Jackson, what have you done for me lately?
Well, that's Belichick.
Well, I mean, but yeah, but look, but he got the crowning achievements. I mean,
Brady has the crowning achievement.
Oh, here we go. I knew that was coming. I knew you were gonna say something about Brady.
It was. I mean, he's not a bad coach. Don't get me wrong. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm saying he's an outdated coach, and his methods without Tom Brady, none of that Belichick way even makes sense. It doesn't work if you don't have Brady winning you those Super Bowls. Now he is a great defensive mind, but I think that's all he needs to do. I'm not saying he can't be a head coach, but I think I don't think the Cowboys could benefit from having him. I mean,
let me ask you this real quick though, but hold on for a second, DA, because my question is simply this. And, you know, I don't have a problem with whether it's a conspiracy or not. I don't have a problem in trying to line this thing up. But TJ, stay with me, y'all. Stay with me.
I got some for y'all.
Tom Brady, hold on for a second. Tom Brady talked about on the other day on the podcast, if the right situation came along, he could come back out of retirement. That's number one, even if it was just for 1 year, right? Now, who mentored Shedeur Sanders? Stay with me with conspiracy. I'm just saying. I might be reaching a little bit. Just stay with me. You got Tom Brady and that connection right there with Shedeur Sanders. I think deals, again, they're made backdoor. If somehow Jerry Jones is able to pull this off, draft Shedeur Sanders, and let's just say the Cowboys get knocked out again in the first round as a wild card team, you must know that Mike McCarthy's out of here. So if you were to go get a Bill Belichick, reunite him for 1 year, and let Shedeur come in as a rookie under he already mentored 1 year. Say, man, anything's possible. I'm sitting here right now. I'm right here on the replay. Replay trying to make your day. I'm right here on the replay trying to make your day. Look at D.O. them shaking his head. You don't want to see that, TJ. Go ahead, TJ. Go on, man. Go on, tell him. You don't want to see it, though. Go ahead.
Let me mix this up a little bit more. You already put all the ingredients in there, Bria. You threw the ingredients in there and all that kind of stuff. You're my boy over there. He trying to hate on it. We're going to put all the ingredients in the mix and the soup. We got the soup going on, right? Let me tell you what's going on. See, what he's going to do, Belichick, this year, right? He's going to go all these casts, and he's going to be sportcasting and doing all this different stuff. And he's going to actually get that appeal back. People going to see that energy, that fun side of Belichick that he actually has that people don't realize. A lot of times people don't realize people have this part. So he's actually going to change a little bit of his stuff because it's already in him. But that old approach, he got to adjust it a little bit. So he's going to adjust it. He's going to work on it during this year. And you don't get a chance to see it. You're going to be like, man, okay, Belichick got a little humor with him. He's kind of funny a little bit here and there. That's what you're going to see during the season, right? You're going to see that, and then you're going to see that, hey, he don't have to get rid of Zimmer. And also remember this, he coached Lawrence Taylor. So now, who he going to coach, right? So now he's going to have his guy. He's going to have Zimmer to orchestrate, because Zimmer will follow instruction. He'd follow instructions like Parcells. He followed Parcells and did what Parcells wanted. He'll follow and add it to the mix, so then they can work together on that situation where Bill Belichick is very genius in approaching and seeing things on both sides. So as long as he gets good offensive coordinator, he can actually direct him on some of the things that teams are looking at because he reads other teams really well. That's the genius of Bill Belichick, is that he reads other teams really well, but he needs his players to be able to adjust quickly mentally. They got to be smart guys to adjust quickly to something he want to change, to do an adjustment, right? He don't do things out of character day in practice because he practices a lot of stuff a lot of time. So he practices them hard on a lot of different things. So the good thing about him, if he put up with all the pieces in the right place, we win the Super Bowl.
We win the Super Bowl. You hear that, man? We're in the Super Bowl. Well, say y'all come in the chat, man. I need to hear from my people in the chat, man. What y'all think? Y'all think this would be a good hire or a bad hire? DA seems to think it'll be a bad hire, but I just think every time he can make some type of statement to keep us away from the Super Bowl or hope or having hope. That's exactly what he gonna do. He don't want to see Bill Belichick with the Dallas Cowboys with Tom Brady.
No, I would love to.
Okay.
Like what I say, as a Niner fan, I would love it. I would love it.
Y'all can come out in the chat.
You know what
y'all sound like. You know what y'all sound like.
Trying to make your day.
But you know what y'all sound like.
What we sound like?
We're listening.
What do you tell us what we sound like?
Cowboy fan.
Check this out.
Hey,
Jabril. Man, I'm so disappointed in Jabril, man. I can't even claim him that he grew up on my street no more, man. Come on, man.
Hey, but the news is out there, DA. I didn't make the news.
The news is out there why he didn't get hired. Not that he going to the Cowboys. The news is out there. He didn't get hired because
all of that.
They say he's eyeing. I'm gonna tell you what they say. They say he has eyes on, I think, three teams, and all of them was in the NFC East. And they say he's an East Coast guy, and he can't see himself being in Texas, especially with Jerry Jones. You know, Jerry Jones gonna get into his business, and plus his good friend I already coached here, Bill Parcells. But who knows if Tom Brady come out of retirement? He said it got to be the right situation. Wouldn't you think he was saying
you connecting
quarterback America's team?
But he also, you know what else he said? He said he would like to put it to who was the owner of New England Patriots by getting with Jerry Jones because they don't like each other. He said that too to one of his friends.
Big shout out to McQueen Peaches Alexander. You know she's back in here in the house with us, man. Good evening to you, Peaches. This is the replay where we try to make your day. Don't y'all forget to hit the subscribe, like, and share button and that notification because we are live tonight this evening talking about these Dallas Cowboys right now. But we will be transitioning in just a second.
And
I'm trying to get DA on our side. I'm trying to convince him, but
Jabril,
bro, he ain't having it. I don't know what it
Jabril, is. I would have came on the show late if I knew y'all was about to talk about this. I thought we would talk. I thought we were about to talk about why he couldn't get a job, and we get on here and y'all talk about him coaching y'all next year.
Well, I mean, a year off will help though, D. I mean, he's been coaching, man. I don't know for how long. I mean, since he got probably about 30-some years in, if not more.
Yeah, he can coach. He can coach. His approach is the problem. His approach is the problem. His approach sometimes is the problem.
But he's 72 years old.
But listen, let me say this. I'll say this. I'm speaking from experience on this right here. And there was a player that talked about him the other day. Name can't come to me right now. He said the other day that the thing that they do like about Bill Belichick, he's such a teacher of the game. You know, you would be sitting back going like, man, why are we still talking about this? He's such a teacher. They say when he got that pencil behind his ear, it's for real. Now, I'm going to tell you my own personal experience with him. I thought he was very angry. When we was in camp, man, I mean, when he wants something done, he wanted just like that. I didn't know how to take that. We going through drills and all this stuff. So I had a first-hand experience of meeting this man. And I'm telling you, man, he's very anal. And I know he's about business. And if you out of position, you ain't making plays. You know, I think somebody brought up a real good point earlier. I heard him say, when you think about Fields Jackson, because everybody want to make the Tom Brady, well, you know, he haven't done this. You know, Tom Brady was there, blah, 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 blah. What he did do, he's the one that asserted Tom Brady, drafted him first of all, asserted him when he had almost $100 million quarterback at the time under Drew Bledsoe. You had to have the vision to be able to see that. But hold on for a second. But I like the analogy that someone used when they was talking about Phil Jackson. Now, we would say Phil Jackson was a great coach. Why? Because he was able to kind of mend that talent together. But Phil always had talent. We don't really know what Phil Jackson would have done without talent. So yes, you need to coach.
Yeah, we do. New York, but that's okay.
Oh, you're right. You know what, Tim? No, you're right. No, good observation. You're right. You're right. Go ahead, DA. But he's right. Tim,
but he didn't coach him. He didn't coach him. He just GM'd him. So we don't know what he could have done with the coaching. You're right. And I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna say you're right because he didn't coach him. He GM'd him.
And don't forget, this same genius y'all talking about is the same one that tried to get rid of Brady like 5 years sooner than he probably should have. And Bill Kraft stepped in and said no. And Brady had a couple more Super Bowls left in him. But Bill was about to kick him to the curb for Garoppolo like he was washed up. And another thing, you can't tell me the greatest quarterback in the history of the NFL shouldn't have retired from the team that he won 6 Super Bowls for. But why didn't he? Bill Belichick is the reason why he left New England. You can't give him credit for that. All the stuff.
Hold on, TJ. Joe Montana. Hold on, TJ. Hold on for a second. Hold on, TJ, real quick. Because DA must forget, Joe Montana should have retired with 49ers, right? And we all know, even Aikman is on the record saying that I think it had something to do with his physical. He was on his way to San Diego Chargers. Troy Aikman was. I mean, you look at some of the quarterbacks that should have retired with their franchise, and it didn't happen.
How many Super Bowls did Montana win after he left San Francisco?
He didn't win none. He took him to the AFC Championship game.
But the guy that they replaced him with did come and win a Super Bowl. So you can't say it was a bad move.
Wait. Whoa.
What has New England done without Brady?
Two questions. One, if Jimmy Johnson is still with the Cowboys, do he win that Super Bowl in '94 against the Cowboys? I call that the Super Bowl. I'm not calling it the NFC Championship game. Because that was a Super Bowl. Because anybody played San Diego Chargers like they went up there and beat them with 55. I mean, beat them like a stepchild. So
well, let me meet you halfway. I don't know if they win the game, but I do know y'all would have had more Super Bowls, period, with Jimmy.
With Jimmy Johnson.
Yes. That's okay, without so that, I believe that.
Okay, yeah, well, we agree on that. And I just think Steve Young, again, he backdoored the Super Bowl simply because Jimmy left, and the Cowboys, the first year that Barry got there, was kind of like in disarray, so to speak, and they lost some of the discipline and so forth, as we already know. But you know, Joe Montana did take the Kansas City Chiefs to an AFC Championship game, and he didn't make it to the Super Bowl. I've always felt like that they really did Joe Montana wrong. They just did him wrong. He got knocked out of the game. I think that what inserted Steve Young, and Steve Young, did some work with Jerry Rice. But even Jerry's on record saying, man, look, I caught from both of them, but if he had to pick between the two, Joe Montana.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know that, I know that. Yes. And I think the rest of the world would say the same thing too. Yes. So I think San Francisco probably left at least a couple of more Super Bowls on the table by Joe Montana, being. You don't think they would have won again?
Well, I mean, but they did win without him, so that's why I can't really say Steve Young. They won without Joe Montana. New England ain't gonna do nothing without Brady. They ain't going.
But
nowhere.
I'm saying you can always have a year where you don't make it because football. I mean, it's an ultimate team sport, and trying to get to the Super Bowl is very, very tough. So I'm just simply saying, I think Joe Montana, New York Giants, it was just their time with Lawrence Taylor, that defense that they had then when they knocked Montana out the game. But I think Joe Montana, you go and surround him with some new pieces like a Terrell Owens and so forth. I think Joe Montana, San Francisco would have probably won at least that Super Bowl that he won, Steve Young won. I think Joe could have quarterbacked that team and maybe won out there somewhere because he took an AFC Championship team, Kansas City. You can't name me one offensive player right now that played with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, you can talk about that defense, Derek Thomas. They had Deron Cherry and them, boy. They was tough on that other side.
I thought we were talking about Belichick.
Well, we are talking about Belichick, but it's a conglomerate of it. You got to embrace it all. So I can take you down through that sometime. So,
well, let's get back to Belichick. You got to
get back to Belichick. Go get back.
Man, we done spent 20 minutes on Belichick.
Hold on. Let's get back to Belichick. In New England, their reign was about to end with Tom Brady because actually they couldn't keep the salaries they had. People forget that they were starting to lose because they couldn't handle the salary with his big salary at that time. So they was on a precipice of actually going down with Brady if they had kept him. So
he was renegotiating every year.
Super Bowl without him. Hold on, he got the other Super Bowl without him. I mean, Tampa Bay got one without him. He got his Super Bowl without New England because they was about to be in cap hell. So
no, I'm saying, Tim, when at the point that Bill Belichick was trying to get rid of Brady, like he was washed up. He played in like 3 or 4 more Super Bowls after that, like 3 Super Bowls after he was trying to get rid of him. So it ain't like he was ever washed up. Like,
well
like
he wasn't great either.
Like,
hold on, let's not forget how he played at Tampa. He wasn't great at Tampa. He was so knowledgeable, so wise. He made plays when the most important time. He knew how to make his plays. If you give him enough time, his greatest asset at Tampa was that he could get the ball out so quickly still. But his strength of his pass wasn't as strong. His long ball wasn't as good. Hold on, his long ball wasn't as good.
They won a Super Bowl.
No, that defense was really good.
But they won a Super Bowl. It don't matter.
Yeah, but he made plays. So let's not act like he was still at his premium.
Okay, throw that one out. I'm saying.
Yeah, let's be real with our conversation though.
No, all I'm saying is Belichick. All I'm saying is Belichick was way too early pulling the strings on Brady.
2 or 3 years earlier before
he was way too early. Yeah. He was overthinking himself, like trying to be really a genius. And like, man, this is the GOAT. He's supposed to gone out at New England. He was never supposed to go to Tampa Bay. He was supposed to stay on that team for as long as he wanted to.
Check this out. He will not overdo Shador. He'll be retired before Shador finishes up, so he can't do that to Shador.
Well, DA, you may have a point. I won't disagree with you on that narrative. You may have a solid point on that. I think he still, well, we know he definitely had a few more years left in the tank because he went on to win the Super Bowl in the COVID era. But I'll just say, I think because they had drafted, hold on for a second. I think because they had drafted Jimmy Garoppolo, he just kind of had that urgency. You know how you get it just become, I don't know why, it just comes down to ego, I feel. Like, I want to see if I can win one without Brady. And Brady beat him to the punch. Well, I'm gonna see if I can win one without Bill. Is that the same thing with Kobe and Shaq? It got down to the fact that Kobe really was pushing Shaq out the door because he really wanted that Mike status to see if he was gonna be able to. Because he heard the noise, you know. He heard.
Well, why would a coach want to do that against his star player? That's 2 players. I get that. But why would a coach say that? That's like Andy Reid saying, "I want to see if I can win a Super Bowl without."
That's okay.
No, they're a package. Andy Reid ain't got that kind of ego. Andy Reid gonna say, "This is our quarterback."
Case in point. Let me ask you this question: why did Mark Cuban break up the 2011 Dallas Maverick NBA championship team? Why?
I mean, because he accomplished what he set out to do. Like, though but I'm saying he paid all those guys to come in and do this one thing, and he was like, "Hey, we did what I set out to do. I got my championship. Now I can do something else." They got the championship. Okay. Belichick ain't got the championship.
Wait a minute, DA.
I'm saying Belichick ain't got the championship without Brady. He ain't got nothing to show for.
Okay, listen, but everybody knows that Mark Cuban shouldn't have busted up that team. They deserve the right to run it back.
Yeah, I agree.
We ain't losing y'all. They're supposed to run it back. Same thing Jordan said when he was with the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah,
we earned the right. Now, if we go into a shortened season the following year in '99 and the San Antonio Spurs beat us, he said, "Okay, cool. They beat us. They know that they destroyed the dynasty. Kind of like when they got past the Detroit Pistons." So all I'm saying is these kind of things happen, but you and I both know, and Tim know, ego. Same reason why Jimmy left when Jerry got into it. Ego. About who could do this, who's gonna get the credit, blah blah blah. The same reason why I kept saying with Phil Jackson and those boys, I can see the Jerry Krause, the general manager. What was that? All that was about was ego. And I kept telling people, they kept talking about Phil Jackson and the Zen Buddhists and all that. I said, that's them Jews now. You better understand, Jerry Reinsdorf and Jerry Krause, they Jews, and sometimes it ain't got nothing to do with money. It was funny to me when Jordan was trying to figure out why they just want to break us up. Y'all don't get it. I said the Chicago Express newspaper, they keep talking about Phil Jackson and his Zen Buddhist stuff is the reason why they're successful. Because he had them taking his shoes off in practice, meditating, doing all of the karma moves and all this. I mean, this is well documented. And if you notice, you remember Craig Hodges? when they got rid of him because he was in the Nation of Islam, right? You know how they felt about Farrakhan and that whole organization. They said, "No, we gotta get rid of him." I say, "Man, you gotta understand about these Jews. This is just the power of these egos, man. That's all it is. It's ego. It's ego." So that's the reason why I say Jerry Jones have one of those big ego. He's a great salesman. He's a great owner.
You making my point, though,
but he gets in his own way.
Well, Mark Cuban got his own way too.
You making my point because I'm saying Belichick has too much ego. That you making my point. He had too much ego for the last 10 years, and so that's how he got in this situation.
Oh no, I'm agreeing with you on that. So I'm not disagreeing with his ego. His ego is there. What happened though? You get humble sometimes, and so when you get that humble, sometimes you got to come back to reality. I'm saying this year is about him being humble, him coming back to reality.
I agree.
What would be best going forward? And I think he can do that, but we'll find out. This year's going to be displayed. He don't get a chance to show how humble he is and how funny he can be and how personable he can be this year.
Okay, again, I want to welcome everybody into the replay where we're trying to make your day. This is the Replay Sports Culture Show, and I'm your host, Jabril Rashad, with my co-host, Darrell Alexander the Great, as well as Tim Action Jackson. And we just got through talking about the possibility of Bill Belichick. It is being reported he is eyeing the Dallas Cowboys for next year. So we'll see how they work out. We just want to have a little fun with that. But just changing gears, switching gears, guys. Let's go over to real quick, man. I want to talk about this. This really bothered me, man. Really bothered me since this is the playoffs. We had the play-in the other night. But something came about, man, with this United States USA Summer Olympic team, man.
Oh my God.
And we're gonna talk about that right there, man. I gotta show the video right quick. So before I set this up, let's get into this just a second, man.
Oh, that's cool, man.
There's Mr. Hill on the line.
That is amazing. What? Gee! What's happening? I'm doing good.
Good, man. Hey, congratulations. Sorry I couldn't be there, man, but certainly excited to make it official.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate the honor. That is really thoughtful, obviously. We're representing our country well to get that goal. That's something I don't have and I really want it. So let's go.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. I mean, representing Team USA in the Olympics is a dream come true. I've played on 2 world championship teams, represented our country, wore the USA jersey, but this is another level. There's so many greats that have worn this jersey at that stage and brought home the gold, so we want to be that team that does it as well. Very excited about the opportunity. Looking forward to the summer.
We're happy, man. Congratulations, man. Just wanted to say congratulations. I'm sorry I couldn't be there in person, but we look forward to a lot of fun this summer, man. I'm glad that you're a part of it. I hope the jersey fits, and I look forward to
Grant Hill.
in July, man. It'll be a lot of fun.
What's up, G?
Grant Hill talking to
Ron,
Anthony
congrats
Davis.
too, man. I'm grateful for both y'all, man. We're gonna make history this summer, man. So I'm excited. Oh, man, it's gonna be a great summer, man.
Why?
Hey, wow, we gotta give you something, brother. Hey. Yeah, he said hey. Yeah. So we want to make sure we gave it to you, man. Yeah, congratulations. For sure. Yes, sir. He said hey.
So, guys, let's talk about this right quick, man, because this really had me puzzled. Really had me puzzled, man. You got all these guys that's on there right now. You got Anthony Edwards, you got LaRue Holiday, and many others. But explain to me how in the heck do you leave off Kyrie Irving? Before you all answer, let me just remind the people and the viewers, man, who are out there, man, looking at us this evening, man, of what this guy brings to the table.
Information to bettors.
Oh, hold on for a second. Actually, you know what, guys? I don't have that up in front of me. That I had a video of him I want to show. We know how strong Kyrie is, man. Finishing with his right, finish with his left. I mean, very creative. And I don't understand how you leave him off, DA. But I'm gonna come to you first, DA, on this. How do you leave off Kyrie Irving off the Olympic team, man?
Because it's politics. That's the reason. That's how he gets left off. It's all about politics. I'll do you one better. I think he and Jalen Brunson should have been on the squad. I'm looking at the lineup. You can't tell me Drew Holiday is better than Kyrie and Brunson.
No.
I don't know how that happened. Drew Holiday? Come on.
No.
Man. I mean, he's good, don't get me wrong, but he ain't box office like Kyrie and Brunson. You know, you got Kawhi on there. You got Kawhi and Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis, they're gonna put him on because of he's a superstar. Yeah, he's a superstar, but I can tell you right now, Kawhi and Anthony Davis they'll probably miss a couple games during the process. But Drew, I got a problem with Drew Holiday, Kawhi, and Bam Adebayo being on this USA team. Bam Adebayo. Why? Yeah. Like what's the criteria?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what this is the classic case of 1992 all over again. And you know who they left off that team? Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Isaiah Thomas. You can't tell me that they were supposed to leave off Isaiah Thomas. I don't care what.
Nah, he wasn't.
Man, look here, man. That was
strictly Jordan.
It was, you know what I'm saying? And that's the only tie that I really have, man, when I think about what took place back in 1992. How in the heck do you leave off Isaiah Thomas? It was bad enough that they had to boycott the 1980 Olympics, which he was supposed to be on that team, but they boycotted. But you telling me a two-time NBA champion and he gets left off? You take John Stockton and who else was the other guard?
Probably Chris Mullin, probably.
Oh yeah,
Chris Mullin was he was a two guard on there for sure.
Yeah, but you didn't even need that rookie coming in and playing from college either.
Christian Laettner.
Yeah, you didn't need Christian Laettner.
He didn't play
that much either.
No, you didn't. But the whole politic thing was about that. They wanted to have at least one college player. But I get exactly what you're saying. He was well decorated because they had been prior to 1992. They let a lot of college athletes that's who we were sending over to the Olympics. But at the end of the day, man, I'm simply saying there's no way you leave off Isaiah Thomas. I'm still pissed about that when I think about it because that you talking about politics. Now that was really politics. They should have got over that, man. They should have got over it.
Well, you got the excuses now too. You got the excuses now that they want a defensive-oriented team. That's what they talked about. They want a team that actually guard play can actually play really good defense, and that's the excuse they're using. Also, they wanted to have some people carry over.
Patrick Beverly should have been on there.
Hold on, they want some people to carry over. Hold on, let me finish. I can't hear you. They want some people to carry over that actually gonna play in the next Olympics, kind of like you said, Christian Laettner. So they're gonna have some people that actually can carry over to the next one because a lot of these guys are gonna be their last time playing. So they want some people to carry over as well too. This is the excuses they use, but there's no excuse for actually leaving Kyrie out, just like there was no excuse for leaving Isaiah Thomas. So I'm totally with you. That's their premise, just like they gave about having a college player back with Christian Laettner back in the day. That don't fly. That don't fly. You don't leave him off. That's simple as that.
Go ahead, D.A.
Luka Doncic is the leading scorer. Then you got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Then you got Giannis. I know Luka and Giannis probably playing for their home country.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right.
And then Bronson is fourth. So unless Shai is from another country, you tell me how he's in the MVP talks, and he don't make the team. Tell me how Shai don't make the team. Is he from another country that I don't know about?
Is he from Greece?
No, that's Giannis.
Well, I know Giannis is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure his name. I'm not sure. I got to double check that. I got to spend years in the United States. But the point but listen.
Oh, he's from Canada. He's from Canada.
Okay, that's what. Okay, that did kind of cross my mind. But besides the point, it's just Kyrie Irving brings so much to the table. And I wished I had that video up, man, just as a reminder to show you who this dude is. And we know he's the best skill guard in this era today. And you leave him off for Holiday? So you know that's politicking, man. And you know, I'm so glad that he did get a chance to play. If I'm not mistaken, I know he went to the trials with Kobe, the team Kobe was on. Now maybe he didn't. I'm not gonna double check that too. But I'm hoping that he did, man, because chances are, if he don't play on this year's Summer Olympic team, I thought they might have put him on as an alternate or something like that, one of the coaches somewhere. But if he doesn't, man, that means he'll never be an Olympian if he didn't play with Kobe. I need to double check that. But I know he was in the Olympic trials with Kobe and them that year. They went when Kobe got to the team. But there's no way you're supposed to leave that guy off, man. And it's like it's just, you know, been swept under the rug and nobody's really talking about it. Maybe Stephen A., I heard him say something about it, but that's just crazy to me. But you say you want the best going over there to represent the country and stuff like that. Well, you don't have the best. You just don't. You know, and that could be an argument made for Jalen Brunson, like you said. But if they going about for politics based on defense, then Patrick Beverley should be there. As far as I'm concerned, because he's the best, to me, the best perimeter defensive guard in the league.
Yep. Yeah, I think I can't see Bam Adebayo, Drew Holiday, and Kawhi being on that team. You know, and I even got reservations about Durant, but I know Durant is still, you know, he can still go. But yeah, that's easily Bronson and Kyrie. That's Bronson and Kyrie right there.
I don't know all of the games that Kawhi has missed, but if you calculate him up, I think like one season he missed like 57 games. So this was the first time I think he played around 64 games this year, which is the first time in like the past, probably since 2016. So he
may not even play Sunday. He's hurt right now. They saying he may not even play Sunday.
I think, you know what I feel?
Crazy, man. That's crazy.
Kyrie actually gonna end up on that team.
Somebody's gonna be hurt.
Them guys right there gonna get hurt.
I know. That's what I'm saying to you.
So,
Anthony Davis
on their team.
Anthony Davis and Kawhi.
They got a whole bunch of old injured guys. That's all.
Yep.
I had
Kevin Durant, Joel Embiid. It's gonna be 4 or 5 spots open before this is over.
By the time they get there, especially through the playoff. I hope so, though, man. I hope so, man.
Because it's a travesty. I agree with you guys. It's a travesty. And also check this out. In the past, it has shown that offensive players, because most NBA players can play defense that are offensive players. They can play defense. When they put it on, they actually got good enough feet. All the ones who really skilled got good enough feet to stay in front of people. That's all you need to do is stay in front of the guy. So they can play good enough defense. You got an offense, you can play good enough defense to stay in front of people. All the guys talking about Kyrie.
Because you're not going to have to play 40-something minutes. You know, you got an all-star team. So you can give it your best while you're out there.
And they play in front of people. So offense means more than putting some specialist defensive players because he plays it all during the whole season. Because in the playoff, them Drew Holidays don't mean as much as a Kyrie. When it comes down to the real time, them Kyries mean way more than a Drew Holiday. You can take all 4 of them guys, they wouldn't mean as much as Kyrie. Not in playoff time.
Yeah, I'll just say this again. You know, the politicking is definitely prevalent. Some people just can't. They hold on to their emotions and feelings or whatever the case may be, and just can't let the past go. We all know what that's about. Because at the end of the day, the Olympics is still about money. It's still about money at the end of the day. And to have this individual in the United States uniform, I guess that was just too much for certain people to see. Because outside of that, see, they'll come up with anything if they don't want you on the team. Oh, he's not playing defense. Oh, he finished 10th in free throw shoot. They'll say anything, man. So there's no way, man, Kyrie should be left off for that team. I'm very disappointed that's the decision so far. I do kind of lean you guys' way. I think that when it's all said and done, after we get through the NBA playoffs and start gearing up for the Summer Olympics, I think the senses will kick in with some of these. Well, at least one of the coaches. I think some of them may say, "Man, we need to get him as an alternative, if nothing else." So we're gonna see. But let's go ahead and switch over, man, real quick and talk about what's happening with the ban on this guy right here, John Porter. DA, I'm gonna come to you first after this video.
With the Raptors and bet on NBA games while playing in the G League. Details include John Porter giving a better information about his own health status prior to Toronto's game on March 20th. That bet would have won over $1 million. At least 13 bets on NBA games were placed using someone else's betting account, including betting the Raptors to lose, according to the league's investigation. The bets range from $15 to $22,000.
Now, before you start, DA, I just want to give a little background. This is the brother of Michael Porter, who plays for the defending champion Denver Nuggets. John Porter, he played for the Toronto Raptors. Of course, he received a lifetime ban from the NBA. DA, speak to it, man. What you think?
I think he's just foolish. Like, why, if you're in the G League or you in the league, why would you risk making possibly $10 million over your career on a parlay where, you know, you might win, like your biggest win is 20, or, you know, I don't get it. You know, even if you, and they talked about, I was reading where he betted against himself. He had somebody bet against himself on a couple prop bets where he faked, like, the guy. They said they didn't even pay the guy because he bet so much money that he ain't even a superstar, but he bet so much money that he wouldn't have a certain amount of points in one game. So he pretended to be ill, so he couldn't play a lot of minutes. Vegas didn't even pay the bet. They alarmed the NBA and said, this bet looks tricky. You know, you need to watch this dude right here, because somebody bet a whole lot of money that he would be under on, it was either points or something. And in that game, he pretended to be ill or something like that. So they said, we're not even paying this bet. So whoever made the bet, they like, no, you think you won, you ain't getting over on us. We know something is fishy. And that makes no sense. If you make it to the league, you're gonna make some millions. So why not just play it straight? You know, make your millions and be happy instead of trying to. Why would you put yourself in scandal? That's the part I don't get about it.
What you think, TJ?
Ooh, just think about this. You know, Michael Porter Jr. is your brother. He's making millions. You in the NBA, you drafting, you playing. Yeah. So you making millions, right? Maybe not as much as your brother, but you making millions, right? And you're dumb. My best far as gun boys. Stupid is a stupid does. Like my mama always says, stupid is a stupid does. So he knows what's in the box of chocolate. Vegas they've always, and bookers, you know, books as well too. They always check when something's fishy. Yeah. And then they always do an investigation because the FBI gets involved. Okay. He still got some stuff to deal with. Okay, he got to be careful with that stuff. So he may get involved in something bigger than this too. He might be careful because they're doing an investigation right now. The only good thing he has is that they decided not to go with that bet. So the other stuff might be minor, so he really don't get in trouble on those. But that one, if they probably went through, he probably be doing Fed time or something. So I can't understand how you can be this stupid. It's kind of like guys going to the symposium as a rookie, and they telling you about all these women who are chasing after you, you know, who actually want to get pregnant by you, and you still go out there and get a woman pregnant, and then she want child support and want your money, right? Right. How can you be this stupid? You don't wrap it up and you don't bet against yourself. You saw Pete Rose get banned for you. You grew up, they talk about it all the time, all this different stuff, and you still go out there and do that?
And that's the number one issue right now is gambling. You know, now gambling is legal so many places now. They antenna up tenfold now because they're prop bets. The prop bets changed the game where KD under 25 points this game. KD say, "Sure, I get somebody to bet, you know, 800,000 on me, and I go out there like I'm
here use that burner phone
30, and I twist my ankle. Now I go sit down. You know what I'm saying?
You think he'll use that burner phone?
Man,
you know, he
got several burner phones.
He kept a burner phone with him. Yeah. He gonna use a pseudo man. I don't care what he gonna KD gonna use a pseudonym, man. But I was wondering because I think Jonte is what about 24, and you could say, yo, he know enough to know better. Yeah, maybe, but you know, you looking at you go from G League, and he ain't even thinking. You know, vision is not there. It's just not. I mean, we looking at it from our position. Don't get me wrong, but it's no way he's thinking. No matter how many times you know, we got it's well documented. You know, players who have been it's out there. But sometimes, man, no matter what happens, history will repeat itself.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad on all levels. You know, we make humor of it, but it's sad on all levels, man. And I hate to see a young player, man, like a Jonte Porter who had so much upsides coming from the G League. He's worked his tail off. He didn't ride the coattail of his brother Michael Porter. He got himself in the NBA to do something like this. And it just seemed like I don't know if he fully understood the full scope of what this magnitude, what this was going to be about. I just question it, but I'm not making any excuse for him because ignorance, as they say, of the law is no excuse. So he needs to amend with it, and hopefully, man, maybe he get an opportunity to go play overseas somewhere.
You said the right thing earlier about ego. Because I tell you, I was at 16, I knew better. At 17, I knew better. 18, I knew better. 19, 20, all the way to 24, I knew better. Okay, so I tell you, my son gonna know better at age 10.
Mm-hmm.
So they can tell me because I'm grown. When you're stupid, you get that ego in there, you think you're gonna get caught, that you actually got a better way of doing it than somebody else. That's the problem. The ego feeling like, hey, I can do this and get away with it.
I think they're gonna have to eventually do away with the prop bets and just, you know, because they do it like the Super Bowl every game now. You know how the Super Bowl, you have a million different things you can bet on.
Mm-hmm.
Kickoff, you know, who's gonna score the first touchdown, first field goal. Now they're doing it every game on the players, and it's not going to be a good thing for the NBA to have those prop bets like that, because you never know when somebody's going to take advantage of it, because it's sort of hard to prove, especially if you're not a superstar.
Yeah.
You know.
See, that's why I like DA talking about this. You know, DA is a professional. Now I'm so glad that they didn't come at me because I'm gonna tell you now, I couldn't tell you. I can't play talk. I can't.
Oh,
I don't like gambling anyway. So
yeah.
I mean, I would just be. I sure would have been a target as a sitting duck, and that's why I'm saying I don't know.
And I don't sports bet. I did years ago.
The under and all this stuff, man. I just say because I've never liked the possibility of losing my money.
Yeah.
And, you know, because how they take a knee. I mean, they could be right there on the 5-yard line, and you just need 3 points or touchdown, and they take a knee. You got your money riding on this. See, that's why I say, man, me and Ben, they never got along and wouldn't get along.
Say, man, look, I bet against somebody these days, but I don't do the bookie stuff no more. I ain't done that in 20 years probably. It's just too much work, too much watching, and the stress levels are too high. I was like, man, I ain't got time for that. But I look up the spread and I'll say, hey, man, so-and-so getting 2 points and make a bet. That's it.
The stress level is too much, huh?
Way too much.
Well, man,
the only game I played in Vegas is blackjack. That was it, and I'm good at it.
I'll lose my socks. I know I will. I'm just being honest. So I just stay in my lane. But I had to talk about that, man. That's been a hot button issue, man, with the guy Jonte Porter. We wish him all the best, man. Hopefully they don't come and bring some type of federal charge that he can get out of this noose that he's in, man, and maybe he found an opportunity to play overseas somewhere and still make the money. But guys, we got to switch real quick and get back to this college thing, because one of the things we got to talk about, man, is this doggone portal, this transfer portal. It has started, and these kids are jumping left and right, man, into this portal, and we're gonna talk about that. But before we do that, I'm gonna bring up Deion Sanders, because he finally addressed some of the stuff that they was talking about as far as the Colorado players that had jumped in the portal a little bit. So here we go.
Practice. Amen. We're good. I trust the recruiting team. I trust our coaches. And please have some faith in me. We're good. We all right. We all right. What happens with the portal, man, and you guys need to know, a lot of people are fighting for backups. When a guy's a starter and he transfers, you got to really think about that. I mean, is he really that? I don't know how many starters have really transferred around the country. I think we got some coming in from visits pretty soon, maybe even this weekend. But we can attract those type of players, but I don't think we're losing those type of players. And if we do, we're good. We're good.
Okay, guys, Deion Sanders say we good. If we losing, we good. Because just like people jumping the transfer portal, which he knew those guys were going to be out of there because he had a lot of guys coming in. I didn't play the entire video or interview, but he made the comment regarding, players that he got coming in. He said, I got a few more linemen, that's coming in, linebackers, defensive backs. So they're actually jumping the transfer portal, making room for his players to come in or his type of players as well. So I'm going to come to you, TJ, first, man. What are you seeing in this transfer portal with these young people that's jumping in this transfer portal, man?
Well, he said the key word is that a lot of times the guys are looking for opportunity. They don't see opportunity in front of them, whether the school they're at. And so a lot of these kids are deciding, hey, there's an opportunity elsewhere. Because everybody wants to be on display. Because you got to remember, these families they come from, or from the school or their buddies or whatever, they want to see them play sometimes. And these kids are not patient enough to say, hey, I'm going to fight through this. I'm going to fight the situation with this coach. And I'm going to fight through and I'm going to win a position, right? They're like, no, this coach don't believe in me. He got somebody else over me, so I'm not gonna wait to see if I can beat it out. Because even though I got 3 years, they're gonna bring somebody else in front of me or whatever. He ain't got enough belief in himself and the work that the coaches believe in him. Or the coaches have already told him, hey, you got 2 years left. It'd be best for you to move on because you're not gonna be able to play here because they got to play in front of him and they got somebody coming up that's gonna pass him too. So they do have those kind of conversations with some players. But some of these guys are what I just said. They just want to go somewhere where they can play. And a lot of times when they end up going to a smaller school. They be thinking they're going to go to another Division I school that's really good, but a lot of end up in 1AA and stuff like that, in Division II. And they end up playing, but then all of a sudden, all they doing is getting their education and they done.
Yeah, so, I think one of the former 5-star recruit, Kamani McLean, the defensive back that Deion had quite some time, trying to mentor last year. He was a Florida kid that came along. He jumped in the transfer portal. I really thought he was going to make that transition because I do understand when you leave home, especially a lot of times it's that adjustment you got to make. You get a little. Some kids will even get a little bit homesick.
Yeah, I did.
I know it happened to me when I first left because you used to, having your everyday friend that you grew up with since probably 6th, 7th, 8th grade all the way up. And y'all played, junior varsity together, varsity together. So I thought he just needed an adjustment period. I think the young man was if you want to talk about exposure, whatever your hate is or knock is or whatever you may disagree with Deion Sanders, I'm simply saying, again, we talked about this on Monday, that you have over 127 years of NFL experience on one staff. I don't think you can find it across the country on any other staff. I just don't think you can find that. So when you got a guy, your defensive back coach played in the league. I'm not talking about Deion Sanders. I'm talking about Kevin Mathis, who played for the Dallas Cowboys and played for several other teams in the NFL. You have that kind of experience. You have Dennis Thurman, who should play with the Dallas Cowboys. And all they're asking you to do is go watch film, go to class, keep your nose clean, and asking you to grow up a little bit, practice hard. I think Deion said one of the funniest things I heard, man. I've heard a lot of things in this game of football, but he said he was asking me referencing if he was going to ever put the kid in the game, and he was like, he said it would be hard for me to put a kid in the game. And you go in there and you watch, because he keep up with everybody that studies film. He got a timeline on that. So you've only watched like 2 or 3 minutes worth of film prior to game week. He said, no, I'd be crazy to put a kid in a game like that. You know what I'm saying? He said he can't even start in practice. That's what he said. So he said, but he was speaking in general. He wasn't speaking just only to Kamani McLean. He was saying in general, you wouldn't be a starter in practice, because there are certain rules to this. And he's not taking them through anything that he haven't done himself. That's the whole thing some of these kids miss. But like I said, you get a guy like, we talked about Warren Sapp, who joined the staff. You get coaches like this, man, and you just ego tripping. You don't see the bigger picture and the exposure when your coach can just pick up the phone I've been there. Tim been there. You can't get this kind of information. Hey, you need to stay in. You need to stay in, man. You need to work on it. He can pick that phone up, man. And I'm gonna tell you, if nothing else, he gonna get a shot regardless. That's what you do with the opportunity. You understand? So, but DA, I'm gonna come to you on this, man. What's your take on it?
I think it's the portal has its pros and cons. I think this is one of the cons of the portal, that it doesn't force a lot of players who aren't ready to stay at a school until they get ready. This is we're living in the microwave, social media, Instagram era.
Sure.
So a lot of players want it like right now. They got a lot of followers, and their followers need to see them on the field. They can't go live, second string or third string or riding the bench. Everybody got to get out there and be on Twitter and Instagram showing, hey, look, I'm playing, I'm starting. That's the era we in, and that's one of the cons of.
That's a great point, DA.
That's one of the cons of the portal. Like it was I mean, I hear, when I watch documentaries on like the Hurricanes or Florida State, and they talk about, and they every year they talk about who they had to play behind. Man, I played behind so and so, and I played behind so and so, and it was better for them because by the time they graduated, they were ready for the pros. And a lot of them thought they needed to be starting, and they probably did need to be starting. There was still a lot of things that they needed to learn, so they played behind. They were humbled a little bit, make them work a little harder. But now it's like, nah, I ain't gonna start. I gotta go. But now you may not be ready to start. You may not be smart. You may not be mentally ready like you think. So that's one of the cons of the portal. So it's just, you just find your spot and do your best.
Well, think about this.
Like that. Hold on, Tim. I see a young man like that, and it's, to me, it's one of those things. He was spoiled. He used to getting certain kind of treatments in high school. You could tell him. You could tell him a mile away. He's used to getting that star treatment. Deion is old school. You got to earn your way, man. You got to earn your way. But let me play something real quick, man, from two of his recruiters and what they say that they look for when these kids are jumping to this transfer portal.
Actual football, you know what I'm saying? So that's the hard part of the portal to me. You just don't know them. So I think we do a good job of trying to, in the portal, find guys that, we got relationships, ties to, stuff like that. But, you don't know who's in the portal, right? So you gotta figure the dudes out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he talked about that real quick. He talked about, you don't know, are the kids coming up because they want to be on TV and get their shine on? Or do you really love football? Do you really love academics? Because one thing about Deion, he promises you either going to do one of the two things. You're going to leave here. He said they want players that love football who's projecting or want to go to the NFL. And if you don't, he want to make sure you leave with getting your degree. So that's really important. But go ahead, Tim.
Well, I'll say this one since we talked about Deion, and I'll get back to the other one. Deion Sanders actually lives in the portal. He got more players from the portal since he's been there than anybody else that actually that's coaching right now. So he's the portal king. So with that, he gonna have some controversy in there because he's bringing in new guys, and he has the opportunity because all the guys want to transfer and come to where he is. So with that, he gonna have that move. So I'm not surprised he have moved because anybody that he's pulling in, they got a high expectation as well too. So you got that expectation going on. But check this out. Barry Sanders was behind Thurman Thomas. I played against both of them.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And so people forget Thurman Thomas played before Barry Sanders. So greatness after greatness. And actually, there's so many different examples of quarterbacks after quarterbacks that's going to go on, when that, and then running backs after running backs, or linebackers after linebacker. Penn State, for example, the linebacker. Then you got, you can take all the receivers on Alabama that was going year after year. They was behind these guys first before they took over. So LSU with their receivers and things like that.
Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady behind Drew Henson. I mean, it's it happens. Yeah. It certainly happens, man. And we wish he's a young kid. I don't wish that he failed anything bad. I heard some people come in. He's not a Buffalo. What I said, no, but he's 18, 19-year-old kid, man. I just hope that wherever he goes, he learns, a greater lesson or whatever he's chasing, whatever he's pursuing, because you have an opportunity to change not only your life, but your generation, your posterity, your moms. your kith and kin. You have an opportunity to do that, man. If nothing else, now you go somewhere and they don't give you shine. What you gonna do? Jump in the transfer portal again? He might, but I just wish he would have just stuck it out, man. But you know, hey, Deion like he say, I'm not changing. Deion is Deion. He got the yellow jacket to prove it, man. So this transfer portal, man, it's gonna be very, very interesting as it continues to play out in the future, man. I wish these kids nothing but the best, but they gotta make sure that they hone in on their own skills, do what's best for you. Don't listen to the chit chat and all the noise and your friends like DA talked about. Dudes, man, why you ain't starting? Why you ain't doing this? Thinking they got your best interest, and they really don't have your best interest. So I wish the kid nothing but the best, man. But guys, we got to segue real quick, man. I got to get to this, man, before we close up this another episode on the show right here. Got about 7 or 8 minutes remaining. It's been talked about. No secret, man. This guy is getting ready to retire from the music business, man. And I want to give a big shout out to my man, none other than Mr. Frankie Beverly of Maze, man. And I got to give him a round of applause. Job well done, man. You brothers can't clap for this, man. I don't understand it. Y'all maybe y'all don't feel what I feel, man. Maybe y'all don't feel what I feel.
Got you, but I'm
maybe y'all don't feel what I feel. I wish
you clapping on the outside. I'm rising and jumping on the inside because every family reunion, every time my family used to get together for barbecues, every time we gathered, we played Frankie Beverly. Every single time. That was a part of our culture. He's a part of our culture. He's a part of our family. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we had two people that was part of our family that got played all the time. Al Green and Frankie Beverly. That was it. Well, Al Green because my uncle can sing like him. Frankie Beverly just because we just love that music. Happy feelings everywhere. We are one.
Yeah, I didn't have the OJs. I wanted to give a big shout out to the OJs too because they're also on their farewell tour and they actually toured in Houston recently. So, you know, big shout out to the OJs as well, man. And you said it, DA. Tim. You know, one of my fondest and my greatest memories that I always have until the day God called my soul is the opportunity for me to take my father, who passed away in 2004, to a Frankie Beverly Maze concert. And I'm gonna tell you, man, one of the greatest times of my life because my pops, man, my pops, you know, he graduated from Lincoln High School, so he was just a South Dallas, you know, street dudes to the heart, you know, went to the military, fought in the Vietnam War, the whole 9 yards. And, you know, sometimes when they came back from that Vietnam War, some of those guys just wasn't the same, but he always kept it 100. So to see him, I'm looking for him, man. We in there joining, you know, and one of my favorite songs by Frankie Beverly, man, was when he would pick up the guitar, the little guitar, and he would start playing that do-do-do. I guess the weekend's over now. That was my favorite, man. And to see my dad when they start playing, you know, when he started singing Before I Let Go and all that, and I'm looking for him, and he was over, man. Look here, man. It was the funniest thing. I wish I'd had a video to play it tonight. I'm looking for this man. He was just in front of me. He over on the corner on the side with this woman. And he got his hand up, and all he could do was this little move right here. and my partner Drake from St. Louis, who come on here with us, man, he'll tell you we went to the concert together. Man, he was tapping me. He said, "Man, look at Pop. And boy, he had his hands up. And Frankie was Before I Let Go, dude. And everybody, man, it was just love, man. It was just love, man. Yeah. So, and that's what you got from a Frankie Beverly Maze concert. There wasn't no shooting, wasn't no gunplay, wasn't no fight. I've never ever been to a Frankie Beverly concert, man, and there was an issue. Never. In fact, the only time I ever came close, I'm gonna come to you right quick, DA. But the only time I ever seen anything that happened at a Frankie Beverly concert was when he stopped the show and he told the security people, "Hey, y'all bag up, man. Y'all." He stopped the entire show. Hold on. Stop. He say, man, let my people come up here, man. Y'all get back. This is what Frankie told the people. And I had the good fortunes of meeting, I think it was in 2004, a friend of mine used to own the Red Cats in Houston, man. And he brought, Frankie came over after the concert he had performed in Houston. He told me, he said, "Hey, man, Frankie gonna come through." He whispered to me. Sure enough, he came in. I'm sitting in the booth, came in smiling with that same smile. I had a chance to shake his hand and speak to him real briefly because he went up the stairs into the VIP. So again, man, I got to shout out Frankie Beverly, man. For 54 years of great hits after hits after hits after hits. And in 19, I think the last album he put out, DA, was in 1990 when he did Mandela. So everything else was just recordings he did back in the 70s, man, to show you how bad the man it was. So so anyway, I'm giving this flower now. But DA, what you got to say about Frankie Beverly as well as the OJs, man?
Yeah, man, Frankie is the legend, man. My sister Peaches, man, introduced me to Frankie. Like, oh, that's her favorite. Like, she loves some Frankie Beverly. Like, that's how I got introduced to him. I was a kid. I didn't understand it back then, but I knew the songs. I knew who he was. I knew it was Maze. I remember I used to look at the album cover and
right, with the hands.
Yeah,
with the
he
hands,
was
with
a
the maze. Everybody
legend,
knows about
and the
that.
one with the
hands.
maze on it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was bad.
And I went to one of his concerts.
Look at that thing about this close.
Yeah, I went to one of his concerts. It was when he was coming off surgery. He was struggling a little bit with his voice, but everybody still jammed, and they knew he was. We heard, even though we heard a difference in the voice, we still knew it was the same vibe. It was coming from Frankie, and everybody still jammed like it was no big deal. Yeah, Frankie's the legend. Just like the OJs. My favorite Maze song is "Golden Time of Day."
Golden Time of Day.
That's one of my favorites right there. Man. Golden Time and when you working in the club, when you have the swing out people coming, you gonna hear Frankie. You gonna the DJ gonna play Maze. So I heard it all the time. I've been hearing him for 40 years, probably or more. So yeah, Frankie is that dude, man. He's probably he'll probably get the highest honor of that genre, whatever that is. If feel good music is a genre, that's Frankie.
Oh, he'll get there. I'm glad they finally acknowledged him, man. BET gave him an award, man, Lifetime Achievement Award. It was well long overdue. And I had a chance to, the fortunate pleasure of seeing him 2 years ago at the Texas Trust, man. And that's when he came with Ronald Eyes, as a matter of fact, another legendary artist, and Jody Watley. And of course, he's not the Frankie of old, but he's given us so many wonderful years, man. So many wonderful years. And we got to still remember him in the bad time because he gave us so many good times, So Tim, you got any last minute comments about Frankie Beverly, man?
Yeah, I was thinking as you guys, I'm reminiscing because I've been in this concert, I don't know how many times, man. And I remember the one that actually really got me because it was like 83. It was in high school. It was in 83. I was young. Went with my mom. Me and my mom went. And I remember we were going to, it was at the Fair Park. It was a super fest. All these artists there. Oh my goodness. Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder, oh my goodness, James Ingram, Patti LaBelle, Patty Austin, Michael McDonald.
I
can just keep on going. There's a few other artists there too, right? And he anchored the deal.
Right.
He anchored it. And his voice was so strong. He just hollered from the stadium, from the Cotton Bowl. It was in the Cotton Bowl. He just hollered from the stadium. It was so powerful with every little ounce I heard, man. And it just cemented everything I had learned growing up, being in the family, and they played the music all the time. He just cemented it right there. I said, the golden voice. He said, you talking about the golden time? That was the golden voice.
Yeah.
The way he could hold a note and how at the beauty and the frequency he held it was so beautiful. The tone was so soothing.
Yeah, I've always said
so uplifting.
I've always said it's nothing like an artist who can come and perform live and sound just like the CD. We say CDs back then, or the album. And he was one of those guys that fit that bill. I mean, he would sound just like you just put it in your vehicle, man. Mm-hmm. And that's what Frankie did. So, I'd rather see him go ahead and retire and buy out, man, and to see him just being out there, to be out there. Like they say, I want to see. You want people to be able to retire at their peak, not when their voice is shattered or whatever the case may be. And I can just only look at the good times, remember the good times, because Frankie definitely did that, man. So peace and love to Frankie Beverly and the OJs. Just talking about the OJs, man. Eddie Levert, man, and Williams, and I forget the other guy. They started out as a quintet, and it was reduced down to a trio. But Williams and Eddie Levert, man, they held that thing down, man. It was rock solid, and I got so many things to say about them boys too. But I think it was one of the songs I remember about the OJs being very young. For some odd reason, they took a song about a dog, and you would have known it was a song about a dog, Brandy. You know what I'm saying? But it made it an R&B hit. You know what I mean? And I think to be able to do that, man, because you know I couldn't make the connection. Just like I couldn't make the connection when I first heard Mary Jane by Rick James. You know,
we young, we didn't know.
We was young, we didn't know. But at the same time, man, when we became of age, we look back on those songs and say, wow, this is what they was talking about, man. So, you know, Eddie LeVert from Backstabbers to Highway to Heaven, We Cry Together. I mean, I can go on and on, man. So we losing two great groups, man, two great legendary groups, man. And I just had to talk about them on the replay this evening, man. So I don't know if y'all want to say anything else, man, because that's gonna almost wrap up the show. But if y'all want to have anything you want to say about the OJ,
OJs were at the concert too. Super fast. They were there too. That concert was the coldest concert I've ever been in my whole life. I will never forget that concert. I'm just so blessed that my mom took me. Because I was with my mom. Yeah. So and I saw friends there too. They was there with family too. I had a lot of friends from school and stuff like that. I saw too. I was there. I went and hung out with them a little bit. Now I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna work for my mom. My mom enjoyed it by herself. I gotta get back to my mom. I came back and enjoyed some stuff with my mom as well too, man. I'll never get that memory, man. And like I said, OJ's was there too, man. That concert, man, gonna fill me feel. And when Epiphany came up, and I'll say this real quick, I'm done. Epiphany came up to me. I said, wow, I got to play more maze for my kids.
Yeah.
Right on. Well, guys, that's going to conclude another edition here of the replay, man, where we try to make it there. I want to thank everybody that came on and jam with us this evening, man. Big shout out, man, to my co-host. That's who I'm shouting out this. They shouted me out last week, man. I should say Monday, man. A big shout out to Tim, Action Jackson, and Jared Alexander, man. He's my brother. He's not just my co-host, he's my brother, man. And like I said, don't forget to tell a friend about the replay, man. We're still trying to grow the channel, and we cannot do it without you guys. And I always like to say, man, keep God first in everything that you do, because in the world that we're living in now, man, it's just so much that's going on, so much that is happening. So I always keep God first. Again, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And I tell you, we're going to be back again, God willing, on Monday, y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. Watch them NBA playoff. Go Mavs.
Peace, love, and joy.
Replay.